from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Now at 6, a woman is missing and police say she could be the victim of a kidnapping. The search continues for this woman after she apparently was abducted while she was at work. More on this developing story coming up here on the news at 6. But first, it is a WRTV Storm Team Alert evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin. Meteorologist Kyle Mounds is standing by. And Kyle, it's been a pretty nice day, but you are keeping an eye on radar tonight.
Yeah, Nicole, with all that heat and humidity we've had throughout the afternoon, now we're adding in a cold front, and that'll stir up a few showers and a possibility of a couple of stronger thunderstorms. You can see those showers moving in around Fowler right now. A couple of lightning strikes here just to the southwest of Terre Haute, and all this is traveling to the east, but you can see we have one little shower here kind of pop up east of Logansport, moving into northern portions of Miami County. Nothing severe with that, and I think any strong to severe storm is going to be very isolated. You can see that marginal or low risk basically northwest of a line from around Sullivan through Speedway to around Kokomo there, and that again would be primarily for some gusty winds. Can't rule out a storm that's got a little bit of hail in it, but that is really about it. Here's a look at TrueCast, and this is at 8:30 this evening. You see a few of those storms stronger around the Lafayette area. As we go into the overnight, though, we lose the heating of the day, and that means those showers will start to fall apart a little bit. But we'll keep in that chance for a few thunderstorms, temperatures in the middle 70s through 10 o'clock.
Kyle, thank you. Some breaking news this evening. Police at IUPUI are asking people to avoid a part of campus due to what they are describing as a dangerous situation. Police say a suspicious package was reported within the past hour on Barnhill Circle, that's near West Michigan Street. So far, that is all police have said. Again, they are asking people to avoid the area on Barnhill Circle near West Michigan Street. We do have a crew on the way to the scene right now, and we will have more information for you as soon as it comes in to the WRTV newsroom. New tonight, police say a woman was working this morning at a Speedway gas station on the northeast side of Indianapolis. That's when they say Selena Coffee may have been forced into an SUV. This happened at the Speedway on East 65th Street and Binford Boulevard. Officers say two men were inside the Chevrolet Tahoe at the time and say the man who forced the 31-year-old woman inside was wearing dark pants and a dark hoodie. Police say they have reason to believe that Coffee may now be near St. Louis, Missouri. If you think you may have seen her or you have any information that could help police, you can call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. That is 317-262-TIPS. Indiana once again saw more than 1,000 new cases of COVID-19, according to the state health department. Today, the state reported 1,076 new cases of the coronavirus, along with 17 additional deaths. That pushes Indiana past 3,200 deaths since the pandemic began back in March. The rate of positive tests continues to slowly fall. The 7-day average dropped to 5% today. A special drive-through COVID-19 testing site was held today on the northwest side. It was hosted by the International Marketplace Coalition for Adults and Children aged 6 and older at the Lafayette Place Shopping Center. The Marion County Public Health Department has previously held one-day testing sites like this over the last few months in areas of the county where cases are higher. Since the pandemic started, there have been more than 19,549 cases in Marion County, and 754 people have died with COVID-19. In the 46222 zip code where this site was held today, the health department reports 820 cases.
We try to do pop-up as much as possible. This is a Saturday, and so we call this a pop-up, and we partner with various persons and groups in a high concentrated area where the COVID-19 virus is up on rise, so we try to go to the community.
Throughout the week, COVID-19 testing is available at two locations, the Marion County Public Health Department and the South District Health Office. It's for anyone with or without symptoms, and they are looking to make this site on the northwest side a permanent location. Working for you, symptoms of COVID-19 could include fever, cough, shortness of breath, muscle pain, or headache. Testing was just one part of the International Marketplace Coalition's Give Back Day for the community today. People who came out to the drive-through event also left with face masks, free food, and had the chance to register for the 2020 census and register to vote. Gleaner's Food Bank was on site providing the food as they have done consistently throughout the pandemic. The 1,500 face masks handed out were donated by the city of Indianapolis and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
COVID has taught us that we have to find ways to work together. We're all one, we're all the same. And we have to look out for one another because this horrible disease, it does not discriminate. And if it can't discriminate, then we as people should not be discriminating.
The International Marketplace Coalition that hosted today's event is formally known as the Lafayette Square Area Coalition. The group serves as a nonprofit organization made up of businesses, concerned citizens, and community leaders. Their focus is on economic growth and development on the Northwest Side. Survivors took steps toward hope today. The Indiana Coalition for Crime Victims held a 5K walk to honor victims of violent crimes. This 5K race wasn't exactly about scoring the best time. Instead, participants and organizers say this event is about sending a message to victims in the community. They want survivors to know their support in the journey of healing.
This isn't about prevention. This is about honoring the victims of crime after the crime. And we have to give them a voice. We have to honor their stories and honor their loved ones that were victims as well. And so this event really allows us to do this. This event gives victims and survivors a platform.
Well, coming up tonight on the news at 11, you will hear from survivors who took part in the walk. They shared their stories and what inspired advocacy for them in their journey towards healing. The redevelopment of Riverside Park continues. Today, people got a chance to check out the new park as well as talk about how it will continue to be reshaped in the future. Indy Parks held an open house and art preview at Riverside today. There were also temporary art installations on display, which Indy Parks says is a preview of things to come. It also means exposure for artists, many of whom haven't been able to work much during the pandemic.
The art can encourage people to come out to, if they're coming for the art, they get to see, the beautiful park. And if you're here and you're here to enjoy the park, you get to see beautiful artwork.
The 200-acre park north of 30th Street will include the former Riverside Golf Course, Crooked Creek, and the old Lake Sullivan just south of I-65.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
More than 4 decades later, the question is still unanswered. Who killed Ann Harmeyer? On today's date in 1977, the 20-year-old left Cambridge City to return to the IU Bloomington campus where she was a student, and she never made it there. Police later found her Pontiac about 2 miles north of Martinsville on the shoulder of State Road 37. The following month, her body was found in a cornfield several miles from her car. She had been strangled with a shoelace. Former WRTV reporter Rick Salinger covered Ann's funeral. The sentiment her friends and family shared is still the same today.
About the man who did this to her, I would give an arm and I would give a right leg to have 5 minutes with him. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Indiana State Police are still looking for clues into who killed Ann Harmeyer. If you have any information, you can send tips anonymously to State Police at the number right now on your screen. That's 812-332-4411. We also have more information on this case right now at our website, WRTV.com. With less than 2 months until Election Day, this week was dominated by what President Trump said in taped interviews about downplaying COVID-19. ABC's Rick Klein recaps this week in politics.
The question of what the president knew and when he knew it was answered by the president himself, and all on tape.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't want to create a panic.
CNN obtained audio excerpts of President Trump's interviews with author Bob Woodward, which cast new light on his early response to COVID-19, and those words dominated the week.
It was a life and death betrayal of the American people. His failure has not only cost lives, it sent our economy in a tailspin. It cost millions more in American livelihoods.
The president's explanation that he didn't want to scare the country.
I didn't lie. What I said is we have to be calm, we can't be panicked. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump up and down in the air and start saying people are going to die, people are going to die. No, I'm not going to do that.
But scare tactics are core to the Trump messaging, at least when it comes to depictions of what he says would happen if Biden is elected.
If Biden wins, China wins. If Biden wins, the mob wins. If Biden wins, the rioters, anarchists, arsonists, and flag burners win.
The pictures continue to tell much of the story. Almost no social distancing or mask wearing at Trump events, A much different look at Biden events, as he has picked up his campaign pace. The former vice president saying he wouldn't necessarily take the president's word when it comes to a COVID-19 vaccine.
I would want to see what the scientists said.
The coming week brings something new to the campaign: the voices of actual voters challenging the candidates. Trump will take part in a town hall for uncommitted voters on ABC on Tuesday, with Biden participating in a similar forum on CNN 2 days later. Rick Klein, ABC News, Washington.
Rick, thank you. More tropical weather is headed toward the Gulf of Mexico. Tropical Storm Sally is now the 18th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. Sally is also the earliest 18th named storm on record. The storm has already brought heavy rain and gusty winds to Florida as it moved into the Gulf of Mexico today. Now people who live from Louisiana to the western Florida panhandle are getting ready as Sally is expected to make landfall over the next couple of days. And no tropical weather here in Indy today, but the Pioneer Fountain at Fountain Square is flowing once again. Take a look at this. It was a gorgeous day to spend some time outside, but as meteorologist Kyle Mounds is tracking for us tonight, Kyle, changes are on the way. You're keeping a close eye on radar tonight.
Yeah, we're going to watch it for you. A band of some showers and thunderstorms are going to mark the transition to some less humid air here as we go into the second half of the weekend. Right now, that humidity is at 67%, a little bit of haze in the air, and that's taking our 81-degree temperature, making it feel a few degrees warmer at 84. Temperatures right now generally upper 70s and lower 80s. It's 82 for you in Columbus, 79 right now in Martinsville and Lafayette. Again, we do have that marginal or very low risk here that a couple of those storms that develop could have some gusty winds around Lafayette into the areas around Delphi, Peru, Kokomo, and just to the northwest of Indianapolis. As we lose that daytime heating as the line progresses to the east, that's why that risk doesn't expand all across the state. Here's a look at radar and where we have those showers right now. You can see a few of these thunderstorms. Again, nothing severe with this so far, but a few lightning strikes just south of I-70 going to be crossing the state line here as we go through about the next 45 minutes. Then we've got some pockets of moderate rain just north of the Fowler area, also scattered around Williamsport and northwestern portions of Tippecanoe County. Some light rain for you around Monticello and White County. Here's a look at TrueCast. This is as we get toward midnight tonight. A couple of those thunderstorms still, but it's going to be some scattered showers. Don't think this is going to be a lot of widespread rainfall that some of us could certainly use. Those lawns are getting pretty dry out there. By early tomorrow morning, any of those showers should be pushing off into Ohio. So we'll have a few scattered thunderstorms tonight. 66 will be the overnight temperature, so one more warm and muggy night. Then that front moves through, and we will start off with some clouds on Sunday morning, but actually the return of sunshine here as we go into the afternoon should be a very comfortable and enjoyable Sunday. Hopefully you got some plans to get outside here for your Sunday afternoon. Temperatures 73 degrees at noon. We'll get around 80 for that afternoon high with those sunny skies. Your temperature right around 80 in Terre Haute, 80 in Indianapolis. The average high is actually in the upper 70s now, so this is pretty close to where we should be. 78 Sunday afternoon in Muncie, and those temperatures going to stay very comfortable here the next few days. Highs in the upper 70s Monday and Tuesday, a little warmer as we get toward the middle of the week, and that also brings in another chance for some showers and storms, but it looks like the next few days of our forecast filled with sunshine here for Monday and Tuesday. That rain chance, it starts to inch up here as we get late in the day on Wednesday. Some scattered thunderstorms on Thursday. That brings in another shot of some fall feeling air for next weekend. Sunshine's back and a high of 74 by Saturday.
All right, Kyle, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much. Well, traffic is flowing once again on Indianapolis streets that were closed to vehicles since May. The closures along parts of Broad Ripple and along Mass Ave allowed people to remain socially distant while supporting restaurants and stores. But the streets opening do not mean it's back to business as usual. Our Cameron Riddle spoke with the owner of one restaurant there who says he's prepared for whatever comes next as the pandemic continues.
For the first time in months, there are cars driving down this portion of Mass Ave. It is the latest development businesses are adapting to in this unpredictable year.
You know what? I like seeing the avenue with cars and not just walking, but it's stressful because you worry about public safety. You worry about making sure your staff's safe, cars going feet beside people sitting at the chairs and whatnot.
Jason Mugg is the owner of 9 Irish Brothers, which is hosting customers at limited capacity for indoor and outdoor dining, both at a safe social distance. He says reopening Mass Ave to cars will allow some of the closed businesses to reopen which could mean additional customers nearby.
Any progress is good progress. That's correct. Anything that helps my staff out to make their bills, anything that helps, I mean, obviously me make bills and give enjoyment to people who for a long time were stuck inside and whatnot, and that want to come out and enjoy a little bit of semblance of what we used to be able to do.
Mug and other business owners have gotten used to adapting this year to keep the doors open and then adapting again when the plan changes. Right now, the use of parking spaces for outdoor seating on Mass Ave is expected to last into October, but figuring out what happens when it is too cold to eat outside is what keeps this business owner up at night.
Until that day comes, it's like until the day came of them opening up street or until they decided we could do street seating. You just really don't know. One thing we've learned is you just got to roll with what you're given, and once that day comes, you got to make the decision on it.
On Mass Ave, Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
Cameron, thank you. 9 Irish Brothers serves food, so it was not ordered to shut back down by the health department in July. This past Tuesday, all bars in Marion County were allowed to reopen, but with reduced capacity.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Well, we found out this week that despite pressure from the White House, we could still be a long way away from a COVID-19 vaccine. Lindsay Thies with our partners at Newsy says most people in the medical world say the development of a vaccine has to go slowly to be safe.
Health experts caution against rushing ahead on a COVID-19 vaccine as AstraZeneca paused its late-stage clinical trial after a volunteer got sick.
The news that there was a serious adverse reaction that halted the trial of one of the most promising vaccines, one that we've heard a lot about, is exactly why you have to take things carefully with vaccines. They're not toys.
Even after the news, President Donald Trump said at a campaign event a COVID-19 vaccine could be, quote, only a question of weeks. The AstraZeneca shot is one of 9 possible vaccines in phase 3. This all comes as a group of top drug makers say they won't submit a coronavirus vaccine for FDA approval until it's been proven to be safe and effective. AstraZeneca began its phase 3 trial in the U.S. in late August. Phase 2 and phase 3 trials were previously started in the UK, Brazil, and South Africa. British Health Secretary Matt Hancock says this is the second time the trial paused this summer.
Whilst we're obviously enthusiastic about how important a vaccine will be, we're also clear that we will only introduce one when it's safe, and we'll go through that proper process because, you know, we want to get to a vaccine that is both safe and effective as quickly as possible.
Pausing is fairly typical in clinical trials, but it's the aggressive timeline and the race really for all of the COVID-19 vaccines that makes this timeout so crucial. Dr. Anthony Fauci also reiterated how crucial public confidence is in a coronavirus vaccine.
We've got to regain the trust of the community about when we say something is safe and effective, they can be confident that it is safe and effective. And that's the reason why we have to be very transparent with the data as well as what it is that goes into the decision-making process about approving a vaccine.
AstraZeneca's U.S. trial had been underway at 62 sites across the country, but some clinics haven't started enrolling participants, a huge challenge on its own. Just this week, CoVPN, the national network recruiting COVID-19 vaccine volunteers, launched a program targeted at underrepresented communities through churches and faith networks. Communities experts say already distrust the healthcare system.
There are some people who need additional information in order to help, help them inform their decisional process. And that's where we step in. What are the efforts and the messages the clinical trial sites are getting out into the communities to help provide that information.
For Newsy, I'm Lindsay Thies.
Lindsay, thank you. If you're craving some White Castles, then this is for you. The fast food chain is launching its first system-wide loyalty program called Craver Nation. It comes with a free meal when you download the White Castle app. You can get individualized rewards based on what you like to order. The loyalty program will also make available discounts and special offers unique to each customer based on their purchase history at White Castle restaurants. And Kyle, just in time for dinner. I'll be honest, I haven't had White Castle in a long time.
It's been a little bit, but I am getting hungry.
And I heard they had a good breakfast too.
That I have not had.
I've never tried it.
Yeah, I'm not a big breakfast person. I'm usually still asleep.
Right.
All right, here's a look at radar. We're going to keep a close eye on it for you this evening. Right now, we've just got some scattered showers around Monticello and Fowler. That's going to be sliding into the Lafayette area. One of the stronger storms, but still not severe here, is going to be crossing the state line and approaching Sullivan as we get a little after 7 o'clock. Vicksburg there around 7:30. It's only moving about 25 miles per hour with some lightning and some pockets of heavier rainfall. There's a look at your 7-day planning forecast with more showers and storms by the end of the week.
Kyle, thank you, and thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 11 after college football. Have a great night.